Can I get you to slate for me, please?
Okay, it's Lisa Chen. Let's just continue carrying that subject that you were in a lot of sci-fi movies. You're a werewolf, you're a vampire, and now you're a robot. And why is those kind of script attracted to you?
Well, those are the things that I like to read myself. I love reading science fiction stories and fantasy stories, and I love those films, that genre of films.
Right.
So to be able to be in them myself, they're some of the things that I've enjoyed doing the most. Films like Tron and the Twilight movies and Underworld, and now
Right.
this. It's great to do that kind of thing.
Which character is your favorite?
I love all of the characters. I really do. I get to play so many different kinds of characters, and each character has a different kind of challenge to it, and I'm able to
Right.
bring something different to it. So each one of them has something different that I love about it, and this character has been one of my favorites to play.
Right, and speaking about the challenge, you have to be a robot and moving very quick, and you need to get used to the rig. That's a big challenge to you, right?
Yeah, well, there were two sort of physical challenges. One is that I'm on a machine that was created for me to kind of sit into,
Right.
and I was strapped into it, and that moves around very fast on these tracks. So I had to kind of practice that to make that seem like it was my own movement. And then there was also how does Arthur move physically himself? And trying to think about, well, as a machine, he's very, very efficient, that he doesn't waste any energy. But
Right.
there's nothing sort of jerky about him. It's just very, very fluid, and that he's able to do these things and make these drinks and talk to people, and no energy is wasted. So that if you focused on him, you'd see, oh, it's a little bit too perfect. He never makes any mistakes, but it's very fluid. And so it doesn't freak people out when he's not being all robot-y in front of them.
Right. So speaking about like making no wrong, no mistake, but you're shooting and you're a human being. So during shooting, did you ever make any mistake that you have to retake it a lot of times?
Well, I was so worried that if Jen and Chris were doing a very intimate scene in front of me and I'm supposed to be making drinks in the background,
Right.
I just didn't want to mess up their scene for them, and mess up their take and go, sorry, we have to go again. So I practiced and practiced and practiced, and so I would get it right on screen. And there were very few mistakes, thankfully.
Practice the shining glasses?
Yeah, cleaning the glasses. Because, as Arthur says in the movie, people get a bit freaked out if the bartender's just standing there doing nothing. So we clean glasses in order to put people at their ease.
But, is there anything that you feel like laughing? You're a robot, you cannot have any emotions. So you feel like
Well, no.
laughing and
Arthur has a lot of emotions. Arthur desperately wants to please Jim and Aurora. He desperately wants to make them happy. And when he doesn't make them happy, then that's confusing to him and he doesn't understand. And so there's an inner life going on for Arthur, that's just as complicated as maybe a human one. And he keeps learning as things go along. He's learning how to tell a joke, and he's learning not to be too literal with people eventually, but it's a bumpy ride for him. But on set it was, because there was only three of us for most of the time, and we got on very well, and we had a lot of fun and had a lot of laughs, then sometimes that would spill over into the scenes as well.
And I've heard that Jennifer Lawrence was very nervous when she kissed Chris, and you were there staring at them. Do you feel the tension?
Well, they certainly didn't seem nervous. It's always nerve-wracking when you have to do something like that, but I think they'd become such good friends, and they were very comfortable with each other, so it seemed like they did it with remarkable ease.
Oh, and you have some scene that you have to just use your head when you're broken, when the robot went wrong. And did you really just smash your head into the table, or how did it make it?
I don't want to give away too many movie secrets.
Oh, sorry.
No, but it was a team effort. There were a stuntman involved and the production design department as well, and we put it all together, and then it works really effectively, I think.
Wow, great. And then, the challenge part for the robot move, is it more like a Segway,
No, the machine was on a system of tracks, and then it was all computerized, so we'd work out what movements I needed to do in the scene, and then that would all be logged into the computer, and then once that was set, then there was no changing it. You had to go with it. So if we messed up the lines or something in the scene, I would still do the moves as I was going to do them, so I would suddenly disappear out of the frame, and so it was a machine on a track, and so it wasn't like a Segway or anything like that.
Okay, and last questions, and I know this the set of the movie is magnificent, and you were there staring at those things. Can you walk us through, because we cannot see anything? We saw it on movie, and part of them are CGI, part of them are reals, and how much portion that it's real?
Well, the set that I was on, the bar set was exactly as you see it in the film. There was no CGI. It was just all designed and in perfect detail. It was really beautiful. This kind of Art Deco mixed with futuristic. And that was beautiful. And then as you go out of the doors of the bar and you go into the spaceship, they were huge. The sets were huge and so much detail in it. And there was CGI in terms of building up, but the actual sets were built on this massive soundstage, so it was pretty much as you see it in the film.
Great, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Thank you.